So today we are going to start with another topic. Today's topic is electrostatics of conductors. Now what are conductors? Conductors are the substance which has lot of charge carriers which can conduct the electricity very well, since it has a free electron, enough of free electron and lot of charge carriers to carry. Now there are few very important properties of conductors, specifically when we are talking about from a electrostatic point of view. So those are called electrostatics of a conductor. Now let's see what are the various electrostatics property of a conductor. The first property is inside a conductor the electric field would be equal to 0. What does that mean? Inside a conductor, if you look at, the electric field is 0. Let's suppose the electric field inside a conductor, let's take any conductor, and if you think that electric field inside is not 0, if there is a presence of an electric field inside, then what happens? All the charges here, it would start to have a motion towards the electric field, and therefore there won't be any net balance or on this conductor. So that generally doesn't happen. It has been found from various experiments that generally there is no other electricity flowing, or there is no charges flowing, or there are no force acting for a stable or static position of the electrostatic or static position of the conductors, and therefore we can come to the conclusion that electric field is always 0 inside a charged conductor. Right? Now from here we can also take a very interesting thing. As we know, as we have seen, or the result or property say, inside the electric field, inside the conductor, electric field is 0. Then we can also draw a conclusion. This was the first property. Second property that comes from the first property itself, that inside the conductor, if electric field E is 0, then from Gauss theorem, suppose if you take a small surface, let's take ds as a small surface, then E dot ds, or the flux E dot ds, should be the charge enclosed by epsilon naught. This is what is the Gauss theorem. And here we see inside, since the electric field itself is 0, then we can also conclude that charge enclosed also will be 0. So therefore we can also come to the conclusion that there are no charge residing inside an electric conductor, right? Now coming to the third property, where we see that for a conductor, till now we were talking about inside the conductor, now we see what happens at the surface. The electric field at the surface of the conductor is always normal, in the normal direction, either outward or inward. It is normal to the surface of the conductor. Suppose if you take this as surface, then from that surface, in the normal direction, either inward or outward, would be the direction of the electric field. So which we can say that the electric field direction would be denoted by unit normal direction, or n cap, right? So the third property, which is electric field is always towards the normal direction of the electric field. Why is that? Let's suppose if it is not in normal direction, let's suppose if it is in tangent or any other towards the surface. If there is, suppose if there is a electric field at the tangent or towards in the surface any other direction, then definitely if there is an electric field, then the surface charge would start to drift along the electric field in any other surface direction. That doesn't happen. That has never been found, that their charge drift in the surface, or there has never been found, especially in the electrostatic case where the charges are stable, there has never been found the presence of any current, or there has never been found presence of any movement of the charge. So therefore we can come to the conclusion that electric field is always at the normal direction of the surface. So now coming, as we have already seen that electric field is always normal from the surface, the other thing that comes to our mind, how much would be the electric field? Suppose if you take a particular surface, let's this surface is ds, and the charge enclosed in this surface is sigma, that is surface charge, right? Then according to the Gauss law, the electric flux phi will be always equal to sigma into ds, right? The charge enclosed with the surface, right? So sigma into ds, and this also would be equal to electric field E dot ds. Sorry, this is sigma into ds, this is the charge, this is not equal to. So as we know that electric flux will be equal to sigma dot ds, and also from Gauss law we know that E dot ds is phi by epsilon naught, or if we substitute sigma ds by epsilon naught. This equation we get it from Gauss law, and then we substitute following the equation, we get E dot ds is sigma dot ds by epsilon naught. If both sides gets cancelled, from here we can also say E is equal to sigma by epsilon naught. And if we have to take about the electric vector into the consideration, then we can say it is the direction of normal, that we have already seen. So from here we derive two very important conclusion. First thing is, first property, third and fourth, this one. First thing that we have understood from here, from consequently these two properties, first thing that we have understood, that for a surface of any conductor, the electric field is always normal to the surface, that is denoted by the n cap, that is unit normal direction. And the second thing that we have also understood or also derived, that the electric field, the amount of electric field will be sigma by epsilon naught. This sigma by epsilon naught has come from two understanding. One is understanding of the phi, which is the electric flux, and the electric flux is the charge enclosed for a particular surface area ds, and then applying the Gauss law, whereas Gauss law says that E dot ds is electric flux by epsilon naught, and then combining these two we finally get that E equal to sigma by epsilon naught. It is in the direction of normal, unit normal, n cap, right? So from here we have found four different properties. Now we start with this another property, which is electrostatic potential is constant throughout even the surface, right? So if you take a conductor, and we already know that the conductor inside of a conductor, electric field is 0, right? And also the electric field at the surface is only normal. There is no tangential component of electric field. Therefore, there in the surface of this conductor, if you try to move, since there are no electric field, not inside, not even at the tangential electric field at the surface, therefore on the surface, if you try to move any charge from one place to another place, this charge, while you are moving from one place to another place, it doesn't have to interact, or it doesn't have to work against any electric field, as there are no electric field on the surface, neither on the tangential component nor inside. So on the surface, if you try to move any charge from one place to another place, you don't have to work against any electric field. And since there is no work done, therefore you don't have to do any work. Therefore you can say, since the work done is 0, you can say your potential del V is 0, or change of potential. You don't have to change any potential from one point to another point. To move one point to another point, you don't have to do any work. Therefore you don't have to change any potential. So the change of potential is 0. As the change of potential is 0, definitely we know that potential is constant. So that's what we see throughout the surface of the electrostatic conductor, or of a conductor. In the case of electrostatic, the potential is constant. The last property, what we know, is called electrostatic shielding. So the last property is called the electrostatic shielding. Now suppose if you have any any conductor, and we know that inside the conductor you don't have any electric field, neither there are any charge, right? So this area, if we create a cavity, this area will not be exposed, or there won't be any effect of any electric field, as electric field will be always 0, and as a charge is also 0. This area remains shielded, or this space inside the conductor remains always shielded. So even though if you give an external electric field, there is no effect of this external electric field in this particular space, and this space, or this area, this space, we can create a cavity, or this also called a cavity. And this inside this cavity, this whole space, you can shield the whole space from any external electric field or any charge that is given outside the conductor. So if you have the charges, if the external charges also hit the conductor, we know that no charges would be accumulated at the center or inside the conductor, neither any electric field would be inside the conductor, that we have seen in the first two properties. And therefore this whole space, if you make a cavity here, this whole space you can create totally shielded from any external electric field or any charges. And generally what happens, if you have to protect certain instruments from any outside or any external electric field or charge, then you can create a cavity and keep the instrument, sensitive instrument, inside the cavity, because this space or this cavity is totally electrically or electrostatically shielded. And this property is called electrostatic shielding of the conductor. So with this we have finished the properties. We have finished the properties of electrostatic conductor.